Hello guys, today we will be talking about the solid and hazardous waste. So let's start. Solid waste. Solid waste are industrial, commercial, mining, and agricultural operations, as well as community activities, produce garbage and refuse sludge from a wastewater treatment plant, water supply treatment plant, or air pollution control facility, as well as other discarded solid, liquid, semi-solid, or contain gaseous material. Sources and types of solid waste: domestic, commercial, industrial, and construction and demolition. The first one is domestic. The term domestic waste refers to wastewater, or other term, waterborne waste, generated by human activities such as using the toilet, kitchen, laundry, or bathing facilities, as well as other comparable facilities used by household or residential functions. The examples of these are food, paper, packagings, glass, metals, ashes, bulky household waste, hazardous household waste. Next one is commercial. Any garbage created on business premises is referred to as commercial waste. So, whether you run a business, an office, a recreation center, a school, or an entertainment venue, all of the garbage generated by these businesses is classified as commercial. The examples are food, paper, packagings, glass, metals, ashes, bulky household waste, and hazardous household waste. The next one is industrial. Industrial waste is a term used to describe the waste produced by industries or industrial operations. Chemicals, rubbish, oils, solvents, dirt, and gravel, as well as a variety of dangerous gases, are included. Without proper treatment, these are dumped into the ocean, rivers, and on the land. As a result, it has become a major pollutant in the environment. The examples of these are industrial processes waste, metals, lumber, plastic, oils, and hazardous waste. Construction and demolition. Concrete bricks, wood, glass, metals, and plastic are among the items found in construction and demolition trash. In addition, to building and infrastructure development and demolition, as well as road planning and maintenance, encompasses all trash generated. The examples of these are soil, concrete, timber, steel, plastic, glass, and vegetation. Characteristics of municipal solid waste. There are three. These are garbage, rubbish, and special waste. Garbage is described as food waste. Rubbish. This encompasses a wide range of combustible and non-combustible materials. Special waste. Any solid waste or a combination of solid waste that necessitates a particular management and disposal because to its size, concentration, physical or chemical qualities, or biological properties. This is the average composition of municipal solid waste of developing countries. These are the components, and these are the percentage by the weight. Food Food waste has over 46%, the highest among these components. Ash and dust is 19%, paper and cardboard is 11%, plastic is 9%, glass is 7%, metal is 5%, clothing textiles is 1%, and unclassified is 2%. That would be a total of 100%. Factors influencing the composition of municipal solid waste. These are the climate, frequency of collection, prevalence of home garbage grinders, social customs, per capita income, acceptability of packaged and convenience foods, degree of urbanization and industrialization of the era. Solid waste management. The system of administration that manages the activities of collection, source separation, storage, transportation, transfer, processing, treatment, and disposal of solid waste is called solid waste management. Hierarchy of solid waste management practices: source reduction, recycling, composting, combustion incineration, and last one is landfilling. First one is source reduction. The elimination of garbage before it is formed is known as source reduction, often known as waste prevention or pollution prevention. Design, manufacturing, procurement, or usage of materials and goods to limit the amount of waste and its toxicity. Environmental benefits of these are: prevents the emission of many greenhouse gases, reduces pollutants, saves energy, conserves resources, and the last one is reduces the need for new landfills and combustors. Next one is recycling. Recycling is the process of repurposing materials that would be otherwise be discarded into new products by collecting and processing them. Your community and the environment may both benefit from recycling. These are the benefits of recycling: conserve resources for our children's future, prevents the emission of many greenhouse gases and water pollutants, supplies valuable raw materials to industry, creates jobs, and last one is stimulates the development of greener technology. Third one is composting. Composting is the controlled biological decomposition of organic matter, such as food and yarn waste into humus, sorry, a soil-like material. The benefits of composting are: keeps organic waste out of landfills, provides nutrients to the soil, increasing beneficial soil organisms like worms and centipedes, reduces the need for fertilizers and pesticides. Then the last one is protects soil from erosion. The last one is combustion. The fourth one is combustion and incineration. Incineration is a thermal waste treatment technique that can be understood as a controlled combustion process with the primary objective of volume reduction and energy recovery from the waste stream. The advantages of incineration are: it can reduce the total volume of municipal waste by about 95%. That's about the most effective method to reduce the volume and weight of municipal solid waste. And the last one is it can be used to generate electricity. The disadvantages of incineration are: it is expensive and it requires high-level technical supervision and skilled employees for a proper orientation and maintenance. So this is the structure of a incineration. The first one is the storage pit. This is the storage pit where all the garbage is dumped. The second one is the grabbers, where it grabs the garbage and puts it in the feed hoppers. The, the feed hoppers the feed hoppers is the garbage going to go to the feed hoppers and goes to the grates where it's going to be shredded. And the stroker, this is a stroker, the number 5 is where it's going to be incinerated. 7 is the boiler where the flames came to incinerate the garbage. 6 is the ash collector, or this called the ash discharger. And number 8 is the turbine hole. Number 9 is the bag filter, where it collects the unwanted things in the garbage here. And 10 is the activated carbon filter. 11 is the induced draft fan. So that's about it. Let's move on. Last one is the landfilling, the most widely used method for ultimately disposing of solid waste. It was obtained by compacting the waste in layers and covering it with earth at the end of each day operation. It is carefully planned and engineered facility for solid waste disposal. Problems with landfilling: or property devoted to landfilling is no longer available as productive farm or taxable property. It generates significant amount of highly contaminated liquid called leachate. It generates landfill gas. So, characteristics of municipal sanitary landfill to distinguish it from open dump. So these are number one, or the first one is solid waste is placed in suitably selected and prepared landfill site in a carefully prescribed manner. The waste material is spread out and compacted with appropriate heavy machinery. The last one is the waste is covered each day with a new layer compacted soil. Waste unsuitable for landfilling. These are liquid waste, oxidizing, explosive or flammable waste, infectious waste, and mixed hazardous waste and inert waste for the purpose of dilution. So the next topic we're going to discuss is the hazardous waste. What are the hazardous waste? Hazardous waste is a waste with properties that make it dangerous or capable of having a harmful effect on human health or the environment. Hazardous waste also includes different physical forms like solid, liquid, and gases. Characteristics of a hazardous waste. We have four, and that is toxicity, ignitability, corrosivity, and reactability. First one is toxicity. Infectious to humans and other species with carcinogenic, teratogenic, or mutagenic effects. When consumed or absorbed, toxic waste can be hazardous or lethal. A polluted liquid may seep from toxic waste when they are deposited on land, polluting groundwater. Next one is ignitability. Under some situations, ignitable waste can start fires, are combustible on their own, or have a flash point of less than 60 degrees Celsius, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Wasted oils and solvents are two examples. Next one is corrosivity. Acids or bases with a pH of less than or equal to 2 or greater than or equal to 12.5 that can corrode metal containers such as storage tanks, drums, and barrels are known as corrosive waste. Exposure to them can result in serious tissue damage. An example is battery acid. Next one is the reactivity. Under normal conditions, reactive wastes are unstable. When heated, compressed, or mixed with water, they can explode, release hazardous fumes, gases, or vapors, and produce explosions. List of hazardous waste. These are spent halogenated solvents used for degreasing, such as dichloroethylene, methylene, and methylene chloride. Spent non-halogenated solvents such as xylene, acetone, ethyl benzene, ethyl ether. Wastewater treatment sludges from electroplating operations. Dewatered air pollution control scrubber, sludges from coke ovens and blast furnaces. Sludge generated during the production of various chromium compounds. API separator sludges from petroleum refineries. Expected wastes. These are domestic sewage and irrigation return flows, mine tailings, animal manures, mining overburden, fly ash and bottom ash, drilling fluids, waste from crude oil, natural gas, geothermal energy development, nuclear and radioactive waste, or should I say controlled separately under another act. So, hazardous waste considered. These are radioactive materials, medical wastes, non-radioactive liquid industrial wastes. Nuclear waste. Samples of these are from the uranium fuel. Disposal of waste completion of the fuel cycle. First one is separating the valuable residual plutonium from uranium and its from fission products in a chemical reprocessing plants. Next one is disposing the fuel into the underground repository. Health and environmental effects. From low-level air, from low-level waste, these are generated from uranium mining and uranium operations with release small amounts of thorium, radium, radon, and lead, as well as non-radioactive ionic species to the environment. Damage occurs over a long period of time. Example: the Ra226 ingestion results in blood and bone disorders, and Ra222 cause cancer to uranium miners. So these are the high level waste. These are wastes are produced in relatively small volume in the reactor fuel, or wherein in short time the fresh fuel becomes intensely radioactive, lethal when cooling of the fuel in the reactor should be interrupted. Integrity of the fuel cladding can be destroyed, and little amounts of fission products released inside the containment structure of the reactor building. Biomedical wastes. Types of wastes: cultures and stocks of infectious agents, human pathological waste, human blood and blood products, sharp implements, used and unused, contaminated animal waste, isolation waste from patients with highly communicable disease. Next one is control of biomedical waste. These are on-site incineration where ash disposal is to a sanitary landfill, sterilization. With lacking incineration and sterilization, wastes are segregated and packaged in special colored coded and labeled containers for transportation and treatment elsewhere prior to landfilling. Chemical waste. These are like these are TV sets, heat pacers, earth satellites, aerosol cans, pesticides, spectrum of plastic materials, degreasing compounds, wood preservatives, pesticides, heavy metals, and other liquid contaminants. Cannot be handled by the conventional process of treatment. Must be recycled and reclaimed. The effects of chemical waste are groundwater contamination, hazardous to marine flora and fauna, and lastly, serious impacts to the ecosystem. Components of hazardous waste management plan. We have preparing an inventory, waste minimization, storage and transport, spillage, treatment and disposal. Hazardous waste minimization. Change materials purchasing and control method. Improve housekeeping practices. Change production methods. Substitute less toxic materials. Reduce wastewater flows. Segregation waste. Recycle or reclaim waste. Treat waste to reduce volume and or toxicity. Delist waste that do not have hazardous characteristics. Treatment and disposal of chemical waste. We have four: physical process, chemical process, biological process, and incineration. Physical process. These are centrifugation, sedimentation, flotation, and filtration. Use of activated carbons to get rid of toxic organics. Reverse osmosis, dialysis, or electrodialysis, stripping, and distillation. Chemical processes are oxidation of cyanide and cyanates by alkaline chlorination, pH adjustment of lime slurry by spent pickle liquor, ion exchange. These are removing dissolved metallics and non-metallic inorganics. Lastly, stabilization and solidification of inorganic sludges and contaminated soils by binding agents. Biological process. Aerobic biological process, rapid microbial growth. Land farming of oily waste. And lastly, bacterial leaching for the extraction of heavy metals from waste water sludges. Incineration. Thermal oxidation of organic matter into CO2, H2O, and inert ash. Particularly combusted organics. Inorganics, particulate matter, acid gases such as HCl, and sulfur oxides may be produced depending on the feed. Rotary kiln, well, incinerators are most commonly used. Cement kilns, boilers, and industrial furnaces have proven effective for the destruction of hazardous inorganic waste. So that's all for our topic for today. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.